In the early 90s, a technique for making games called colour cycling enabled the people who made the games to get around a problem that they had. The video cards back in the early 90s were only able to render a certain amount of colours, usually about 256. That was the colour kind of limit. So instead of having multiple frames of the same image that are slightly different, what people kind of started doing was something called colour cycling. What it meant really was the fact that the colours would change. The actual palette of colours would change. That way enabling what would look like animation. So if you look at the images that are currently on this video, you'll notice that the images themselves aren't actually changing. It is purely the colour palette shifting or cycling. Now, back in the day, there were loads of games that did this, but they never really did it really well, apart from one particular man who did and illustrated a lot of other games back in the day that were used kind of just to simulate backgrounds, give it a bit of atmosphere and nostalgia. Things like LucasArts games like the Indiana Jones series or Loom or The Secret of Monkey Island, those sort of games. The animation was very basic, but because of the colour cycling, it made the games feel more alive and made the games feel more fluid, because these kind of colour cycling techniques were perfect for use when it was trying to use water, for instance, moving, or smoke, or lakes, or clouds, or fog, or rain. Obviously the images that you're seeing right now have been kind of tarted up a little bit since these by a specific group of people called Effect Games. Now these folks decided that they wanted to use these kind of images to create these fantastic like landscapes based off original pieces of artwork or illustrations created by specific people back in the day. Now I'll put a link in the description so you can actually go to this website and you can actually change bits and pieces and change kind of the way things look, and it gives you a little bit of customization, but in general it is really built just for show. What I really love about these kind of images though is that it brings back a real heavy dose of nostalgia, because the 8-bit kind of genre, it went by too quickly for my taste. I really did love the 8-bit genre, and that's why I think it's come back and come into popularity in the last few years, because it's a very simple way of making games, but it's also a very enjoyable medium in the sense of making games that look very nostalgic and feel very good. Because if you don't have to worry so much about the graphics and you can focus on the engine and get everything right, then these type of games usually work really well and they become very, very popular. Now the reason why I created this video in the first place was because what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a whole chunk of these videos put together, or these images put together, and create some kind of like digital background. This digital background thing was fairly easy to do. All I needed to do really was take the video and put it all together, like this video in particular, and then just change it into an AVI file and work out how to put it on as a desktop wallpaper, which was in the end fairly simple, just using a simple piece of software called Video Wallpaper. Anyway, that's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is, while I was doing this, I really started to enjoy these kind of animations. I felt that they were fantastically well done, very incredibly nostalgic, because they reminded me of games that I played when I was growing up, when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. These games kind of influenced me to the point of who I am, really, about my experiences playing certain games, where other people may have said, "Oh, we were playing Mario and we were playing Zelda and what all this sort of stuff," and I was playing these sort of games like Lemmings, for instance, or Laser Squad, or various other games that just completely skip the top of my head. Civilization type things, very much DOS-based games, very much kind of like a small percentage of people have had access to these kind of DOS games. Amiga and Commodore 64 games as well were more available before the SNES and that, or the Nintendo came in and all that sort of stuff. But I think it really does give a really nice feeling of the nostalgia of the games, but then the artistic style that people use to create their games. And I really can't get over how beautiful these things are. Now, the link in the description takes you to the place where the artwork has been used by the people who created this website. They obviously have used it to create something even more beautiful than the thing was created for in the first place. And some of the stuff that they've done is amazing, really, really amazing. And I do recommend you go and look at the other stuff that they've put up. And I mean, they say that they've stopped doing stuff now for these projects, which is a shame because they look like they were fantastically good at it. And then moved on to something else, which I don't think actually has got up at all. But nonetheless, I do recommend you go and have a look and see what this is all about, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you want this video as your desktop background, wallpaper, whatever, then all you need to do is save this video, download it using one of the YouTube download video things that you can get if you just search for it, and you need to kind of convert it to an AVI file, and you then need to get the software, Video Wallpaper, or the equivalent, Dream Scene if you're on Windows 7 or Vista, and install it and put it in. And it's that simple. Just take the sound off, put the sound down to 0, or if you even any good at editing, you could take the video itself, put the relevant sounds in, or you could literally just go to the website and just have the website on in the background. Either way, it's all good. I hope you've enjoyed this video. The video's got quite a bit of more time to run, so if you do want to have a look at all this stuff, I will be putting a little bit of music on here, some music that I created myself that hopefully will suit the video that you're seeing right now. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. If it, interpretations are different to different people. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and see you soon.